What is up, YouTube and Wrestling Universe? IWC, as I hear some people call it. Here I am with the results from WWE Money in the Bank 2019. The first 30 minutes of the pre-show was a few random interviews. I tuned in about 30 minutes before the show started. Somewhere close to the middle of the pre-show, we have Sonya Deville joining the pre-show panel, and Zelina Vega comes out and they get into an argument. We start with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Daniel Bryan and Rollins versus the Usos. Titles are not on the line, thankfully. This was a good opening match. The pre-show always puts on good matches, really. Usos wind up getting the win, and I'm seriously afraid this is going to lead to a unification match. We start the actual pay-per-view, and we're going to bring it to the flow with the women's Money in the Bank match. Shout out to WWE for mentioning Ashley Massaro with the on-screen graphic. We finally get all the women in the ring. Naomi's looking like a bumblebee with afro puffs. Mandy comes out with Sonya, and Bayley's out last. Nikki does the Tommy Dreamer spot with the ladder around her head. Carmella hurts her right knee and is taken to the back. And at this point, my prediction changes because I know what's about to happen. Naomi shows us some different spots similar to Royal Rumble matches that I honestly don't think I've ever seen in ladder matches before, with her doing a split to avoid being hit by two chairs. Bayley winds up getting rammed in the middle of a ladder. Dana Brooke does the hanger from the briefcase, but it quickly turns into everyone on the ladder, and Natalya dumping the ladder over. Ember Moon hits an eclipse out of nowhere. Carmella limps back out to destroy Mandy Rose, who was in control. Mandy Rose was also the one attacking Carmella before she was injured. Sonya Deville comes in and stops Carmella from winning the match, and she helps Mandy back in and climbs the ladder with her on her shoulders. Bayley winds up popping up, and he knocks him down and grabs the briefcase. And thank goodness there was no Sasha in the match. Bayley is interviewed, and they talk about Bayley cashing in tonight, which probably means it's not going to happen. We see Sami Zayn in the back with Triple H wanting protection because he's worried about Braun Strowman. Triple H said that Braun's not here tonight. Rey Mysterio's in the back fixing up his gloves, and he hugs Dominic. Next up, Bua Buaka as Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe for the United States Championship, with Dominic watching in the back. Samoa Joe is busted open, and Rey wins the championship in a quick match after Rey winds up hitting a reverse Hurricane Rana. I'm not sure, but I think Joe was supposed to kick out. They make it seem like Samoa Joe's shoulder was up. To me, it seemed like he was trying to lock in the clutch. Samoa Joe attacks Rey after the match and eyes down Dominic. It winds up coming out to celebrate. I honestly wonder if this match was ended early because of the blood. However, Rey Mysterio is the new United States Champion and is now a Grand Slam champion. We see Braun Strowman in the back looking for Sami Zayn, so apparently Triple H lied. Next up is the steel cage match, The Miz versus Shane McMahon. Shane immediately tries to climb out. The Miz brings out the figure 4 after Shane misses a coast to coast. Shane tries to climb out of the door while fighting The Miz. Miz winds up winning a battle of who can get the chair that's in the ring. Skull-crushing finale, and Shane's foot's on the rope. And it looks like we got a crooked referee tonight. Shane and The Miz are battling on top of the cage. Miz has Shane by the shirt, and the shirt slips off, and Shane falls out of the ring, leading to Shane McMahon winning again. It's then announced that tomorrow night on Raw, Mick Foley is announcing a new championship. In the back, we see Sami Zayn is hung by his feet and unconscious. 205 Live finally makes it to the main show, apparently, as Aiden English, Nigel McGuinness, and the other guy on commentary. Tony Nese is out to face Arya Davari, and Davari drives the car out for his entrance. It was a pretty good cruiserweight match and was given a decent amount of time. Next, Triple H is in the back talking to Braun Strowman, and he insinuates that Braun took out Sami. Braun winds up saying it wasn't him that did it, but Triple H winds up asking Braun to leave. Next up, we get Lacey Evans versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. Lacey is out with guns and money. Lacey goes after the arm in this match and then the bad knee. Another referee in the wrong place when Lacey winds up rolling Becky up and the referee doesn't count. And Becky winds up reversing into a disarmer to retain the championship. Lacey Evans clearly had this won at the 3 count. Charlotte comes out as Becky is walking out for our next match. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This is more of the Becky beatdown from the last match with Becky fighting back. Charlotte goes for a natural selection on the apron but misses as she's being counted out. Lacey Evans comes out to distract and attack Becky, leading to a new SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. Becky goes back out of the ring and goes after Lacey Evans. Charlotte and Lacey beat Becky down and the crowd begins to chant, "We want Bayley," as Bayley runs out to attack Lacey. Charlotte takes Bayley out and then goes back to beat on Becky. Charlotte misses an attack on Bayley and is down. Bayley teases cashing in. Charlotte's out. Bayley winds up cashing in with an elbow off the top, and we have a new SmackDown Women's Champion. And Bayley winds up celebrating for a minute with the crowd. Elias is out to the ring with no guitar. Apparently earlier in the night he broke his guitar over Roman Reigns' back in the backstage area. Elias gets an electric guitar and begins to run down the crowd. I just have a feeling Elias is going to be interrupted. Elias actually finishes the song and begins to walk out. Superman punch. It's the big dog. In the ring, spear, Roman Reigns. Next up for the Undisputed Championship, we have Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. It's a great back and forth match with lots of reversals and incredible moves. Best single match of the night up until this point. However, the overall Becky sequence ending with the Bayley title win was better for me. Rollins winds up retaining after the stomp. This was an amazing match that definitely deserves the "This Is Awesome" chance it received. After walking away, AJ comes back in the ring, eye to eye, and offers to shake hands. They shake as AJ walks out. Charlie Caruso is in the back with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, and this match is next. I guess that means there's no cash in. Lucha Party is out for a 6-man filler match. Here comes Lars Sullivan, and for once I'm glad to see him. Grand Metalik is out. Let's say Dorado is out. Kalisto attacks and is beat down as Lars seems to bust his head open after a headbutt. Next is the WWE World Championship match. Kevin Owens versus Kofi Kingston, with Xavier Woods watching backstage. Kofi retains in a pretty good match that was basically most of all Kevin Owens. Xavier Woods comes out to celebrate. Time for the main event for the men's Money in the Bank briefcase. Apparently Sami Zayn was rushed to the hospital, so he's out of the match. We start off with 7. Randy Orton starts off by drop kicking 3 competitors into the announce table. Corbin and Drew McIntyre work as a team during the match, and then later Andrade with a sunset flip off the top of the ladder onto another ladder on Finn Balor in an amazing spot. Ali hits a Spanish fly onto Andrade from the top of the ladder. Ali later is chokeslammed through the announcer table by Baron Corbin. Finn Balor winds up taking the most damage in this match, but all 7 men put their bodies on the line. Ricochet is tossed over the rope and onto a ladder bridged outside, breaking the ladder. Randy Orton lays out Drew McIntyre, and then Baron Corbin lays out Randy Orton. Ali gets Corbin out and then climbs the ladder all along in the ring. And Brock Lesnar comes out and knocks the ladder over. He sets the ladder up and then climbs up, grabbing the briefcase, and what I consider a horrible finish to a fantastic match. Here's the thing, I was ready to say this was a great show, but this one moment made me question my opinion. People complain about Roman Reigns being shoved down our throat, but why is Brock Lesnar, a guy who's all about money with no love for the company, always shoved down our throats as well? At least Roman Reigns cares about the sport. WWE has a roster full of great talent that they just waste. Any of them could have used and appreciated the spot that Brock is just handed. This moment is great if you're a Brock Lesnar fan, but really, who is? It's the same old stupid thing. Taking the main event out of the equation, though, the moment of the night was the Bayley storyline featuring Becky Lynch. In my predictions, I had the right idea, but with the 2 matches in reverse, I honestly don't mind how it went. I think that Lacey Evans will still become champion at some point, but with Bayley cashing in on Charlotte and staying face, it works. This was a great pay-per-view, but of course it had disappointments, leading me to ask, why Brock? Anyhow, guys, I'll leave it there. Leave your comments, thoughts, and opinions below, and let me know what you thought of the pay-per-view. Please like, subscribe, and let's grow this channel together. Also, on a side note, check out WWE 24 with Becky Lynch that played after the pay-per-view. If you have some extra time, it's worth the watch.